here at Craft Klatch. We've had some unusually warm weather here and it's kind of cooled down now, but it's put me in kind of a tropical beachy mood. And today is no different. Today we're going to be doing a beachy plaque. It's going to be fun. It's going to have resin, it's going to have some sand, glitter, flip-flops, and a little sunshine. So here's this metal plaque, and I've done some other projects with these before, and they are becoming a little harder to find, and I bought this about a year ago at Michael's. So check it out, see if you can find it. This is a double-sided one. I've been seeing more of the one-sided ones now, which is fine too. In some ways I kind of even like that better. Now we're going to use this with resin, and we're also going to put some wood pieces in there. And because I wanted to have a summer theme, I found this wood sun, and that was also at Michael's, and that fits in there actually perfectly. And then I have these flip-flops that also fit in there pretty well. It's a little bit tight, and if I need to trim it down a little, I can, but I can kind of just squeeze them in there, and at least I know they're not going to float when I put some resin in there. The very first thing we need to do is to prep this, because this has seams and resin will go through the seams, and there's a hole where the little hanger is, and we need to seal that as well. And the way I do that is I just take my glue. You can use a weld bond, you can use ultimate glue, use whatever glue you can get your hands on that will stick to metal. You can put gloves on to do this part. I don't necessarily do it. I just take it on my fingers and I get right down into the seam. I just make sure I press it down into the seam. This dries clear so you won't ever know that it's there. And if you have any concerns whatsoever about resin sticking to metal, you could put a layer of glue over all of the metal where the resin's going to be, and then you never have to worry about it. I know you guys use a variety of resins out there, so you just need to kind of be aware of what you're using and how it works. Now I don't want it too thickly on the edge, but underneath here I don't care. And again, be sure you get a real good goop right where the string goes through, otherwise you're going to have some major resin leakage through there. And then you just want to let that dry, and then I'll do the other side as well once that has dried. Now we get to paint, and I'm going to obviously do the sun yellow, and I'm going to have a mix of yellow and orange. Dried, and I actually put a little bit of hot glue in here as well, just to keep that hole closed so none of the resin runs through. I've mixed about 2 ounces of the Easy Cast. I'm going to put just a little bit off to the side here and keep the rest in here, and I have sand from a previous vacation that I've been hanging on to for a while, and I'm going to just scoop it right into the resin. As we've talked about in the past, the sand will get pretty dark in the resin, so our solution for that is some white or clear glitter. You want it nice and thick. I might not have needed 2 full ounces because with adding the sand and the glitter and everything, it might be more than I need. This is going to look like wet sand even when it cures. Alright, now I'm going to start putting it right into here and moving it around. I don't want this full, I just want to use it as a background. Then I'm going to take my flip-flops that we had painted, and I'm going to put them in here. Press them down right into the sand. Press them down in. Some of that sand is going to start coming up the sides of them just a little bit, which is fine. Add the stuff that I reserved, but I'm not going to use that yet. I have some little shells left over from other projects. I have a shark's tooth, so I'm going to place it right in there. And that way I have little shells laying around my flip-flops. This kind of project is perfect for all those teeny tiny shells that you find at the beach and you never really know what to do with them. This is great. Or you can buy them. You can buy them, you know, at the craft stores, online. So now I'm going to take my reserved bit and I'm going to just pour it over, little by little, kind of pour it and spread it over the flip-flops because I want them to be shiny and preserved. Then I'm going to take my lighter, pop the bubbles. Remember, these flip-flops are wood, so you don't want to hold it on there too long and then all of a sudden, you know, set them on fire or anything. I have another ounce of resin mixed and I'm going to add it to it. And all you're going to do is just keep adding resin until you get it as full as you want. And then don't forget to take your lighter, pop the bubbles. And then you can just continue to add layers of resin as you go until you get it as full as you need it to be. I have 3 ounces of the Easy Cast mixed, and I have leveled out our plaque. And then I have our sun here, which is ready to go, and I'm going to use this beautiful blue glitter as the background. So I think I have more resin than I actually need. So always, as I always say, have some molds on hand so you can drop it into there and it can become part of a paperweight or whatever you want it to become. And remember, I sealed this side with glue already as well. Now I'm going to pour it in, let it spread out, and then I'm going to take my lighter and I'm going to pop the bubbles. And I don't want this too deep because I'm going to put my sun in, and if it comes too deep it's going to cover it up. So we don't want that to happen. This is perfect. And it is wood, so it's going to want to float, but because I don't have that much in there, I don't have to worry about it. So that's good. Now, you do want to be careful when you take your lighter and if you have any additional bubbles, and that's why I pop the bubbles right away first, so that I'll only have to do minimal bubble popping after. You just run in really quick because that's a piece of wood. You do not want to set anything on fire in your craft room. We'll just let that sit, and as soon as it's firm enough, I will add another clear coat on top of it, and that will cover the sun and that will fill out everything else. Now we're ready to finish this, and I have mixed more of my Easy Cast, and I'm going to start by pouring it over the sun. Now we painted it so the wood is sealed, but you still might get some bubbles anyway, so just be aware of it and expect it. Okay, then I'm going to take my lighter, pop the bubbles, and then we're going to let this sit a minimum of 12 hours before we handle it. Here it is, all finished and ready to hang. I did put some resin on the twine just to give it a little extra strength because it is pretty heavy. And there's the flip-flop side, and then here is the sun. So if you're ready for summer, you can probably appreciate this. You can see all the little seashells down in there. The flip-flops are embedded and they're nice and shiny. And here's the sunshine, and you can kind of catch, I don't know if you can see the glitter, but it's very shimmery. So you can hang this wherever to keep that beachy kind of state of mind. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you haven't yet, remember to subscribe so you don't miss a thing. I will definitely see you next time. Remember, life is too short not to shimmer, so grab your glue gun and your glitter. Stay safe. Bye guys.